Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody has had a good morning this morning so far. Good morning, Mr. Maddie. Good morning, Happy. Good morning, Um, Gamecock Jenny. I like your name. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I got my coffee this morning. I'm drinking it on this Wellness Wednesday. This is your med check reminder too. Please take your medications and don't forget them like I do. With my ADHD. So I got to do my med check reminder, y'all. On this Wellness Wednesday, do y'all have a specific, um, thing in mind that you would like to talk about, whether it be mental health awareness, whether it be diabetes or a specific, condition, whether it be a heart condition or something else? Because sometimes what I'll do on Wellness Wednesday is, like, let's say one of my subscribers has like a physical condition, right? And they want to talk about it or spread awareness about it. I'll do that also. So that's why I always, when I start the show, I'll ask. If not, we'll go into other categories, obviously. Also, good morning to all my bush watchers. I hope you're having a good morning this morning. I hope you're smiling and happy and waking up with, just a good day. I hope you got good sleep last night. Also, I was watching Mr. Rat Trap last night before I fell asleep, and I fell asleep to his voice is super relaxing. And I was already tired, and I was like, and I totally fell asleep. Yeah. If he started, he could read me the alphabet, and I swear I'd fall asleep because it's just super relaxing. Some people just have those voices. Their voice is just super relaxing. It makes you just feel calm. And with my ADHD and stuff, a lot of times I'll listen to these shows before I go to sleep with relaxing voices like that because for some reason it just lulls me right to bed every time. Never fails. But we're going to look up right now. Um, let's see. I've done cerebral palsy. Um, I've did diabetes. I've did a few random disorders here and there. I've did a lot of mental health awareness. Trying to figure out what today's now. I do ADHD on Wednesdays sometimes too because I'm team neurodivergent. Good morning, Miss Catherine. Good morning. And so we'll talk about stuff like that. But I'm trying to think today something different that may not be as well known, you know? Um, we were talking about the other week, we were talking about did and dissociative identity disorder, and we were talking about tics and how it has become prevalent in other communities for people to fake having mental health conditions. I don't know if you've seen a lot of this uptick on TikTok, but or the Tiki Talk. A lot of people um, have absolutely went over there and started spreading like they have this and things like that, and it's not true. Because most people, when they have, we're gonna, I'm gonna go over that this morning, probably a few other things. If you have a specific disorder you would like to talk about, or anything health related, whether it be mental health, physical health, um, bring it up in chat. We'll look it up. We'll go over it this morning. I hope you're all having a good morning and drinking your coffee. And remember, take your medications, drink your tea, wake up. Some people don't do coffee, some people do tea, some people don't do neither. Also, I wonder if, you know, there's always those studies that say coffee is good for you, and some say coffee is bad for you. There's these studies about salt and whether salt is good for you or bad for you. I will say your body does need all minerals, and even salt to a certain degree. It's always within moderation, right? Everything's within moderation. let's see here. Salt. Let's go. Is coffee good for you? See, coffee contains antioxidants that may help reduce inflammation and protect against disease. It lowers the risk of stroke and cancer. Drinking 3 to 4 cups daily is linked to a lower risk of stroke and certain cancers, reduced risk of type 2 diabetes and depression. Regular coffee consumption may lower the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and depression, supports liver health. Black coffee can help protect your liver and reduce the risk of diabetes. Considerations of preparations. Unfiltered coffee may raise LDL cholesterol levels, so using a paper filter is recommended. Overall, moderate coffee consumption can offer several health benefits, but is essentially to be mindful of how it's prepared. I think it also does come down to what we put in our coffees, if that makes sense. Like if you chocolate full of sugar, like you put like a whole cup of sugar, that's a exaggeration. If you put a lot of sugar in it, obviously it's not going to be as healthy. That's why I cut down on the sugar in my coffee, because I used to put like a crap ton of sugar in my coffee. So the way that I cut down on it was I found a creamer that I like, because I can't drink straight black coffee because it upsets my stomach. So when you have like a red stomach lining, gastritis, GERD, you have really bad acid reflux in general, black straight coffee sometimes can upset your stomach, right? So the way that I found around it is I use a creamer, and I don't add any extra sugar to it. Just what's in the creamer, right? Just what's in the creamer. And I use this coffee, it's a chocolate creamer that I get from Walmart, which the name brand is a Hershey chocolate, but I use the off brand because I like it better. And I don't add any extra to it. Now, I know a lot of people who can drink straight black coffee. I have trouble doing that. And I know people who like drink unsweet tea. I can't drink unsweet tea. I'm sorry. It's never gonna happen. Yes, coffee is a diuretic. Technically, it actually has a lot of health benefits, but it's like everything within moderation, right? Like you do need salt in your diet. A lot of people don't know this, but when you go to the hospital, you use a sugar-free chocolate creamer, Miss Joy. See, I need to get on your level with the sugar-free version. A lot of people don't know this. When you go to the hospital and you get a simple saline solution, when you get the IV put in your arm, saline is technically, let me show you what a simple saline is. A simple, I'm going to show y'all, saline solution. Because a lot of people don't know that it actually has, it's 4 cups of distilled or boiled water, 2 teaspoons of non-iodized salt, an airtight storage container with a lid such as a bottle, and a mixing utensil. A lot of people don't know that there is salt in saline, because saline stands, if you look up what saline stands for, it stands for salt. So when they give you IV in the hospital, it's not a whole lot of salt, but they're giving you basically salt water. Good morning, Miss Joy. I hope you're having the best morning ever. The simple saline solution that you get in the hospital is just a little bit of salt water. Like, also, if you are outside doing a lot of physical activity and you're sweating the salt out of your body. You do need certain minerals and certain things in your body. It's just like, if you're out there and you start getting cramps in the back of your legs, that's because you're absolutely, you need potassium and you need salt. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually got told this by a friend of mine. If you're ever outside and you're starting to do that, take 1 teaspoon of mustard, of yellow mustard, just yellow mustard. They are starting to keep packets of yellow mustard in ambulances to give to kids who are out there on the fields. Believe it or not, I know this sounds super weird, but you can look into it. they're starting to keep mustard packets because for some reason it helps. I don't know the exacts. I know it has a little salt in it, and all those things, but they are starting to keep mustard packets in there. I used to always carry, those little salt packets that they give you at different restaurants and stuff. I used to carry those with me. And when I would sweat a whole lot, of course, I would drink my water and get my electrolytes in me, right? But I would chew up a pack of salt, just one, the little bitty tiny the little tiny salt packets, where it's not too much, because like I said, too much is also bad for you, right? And I would chew it in my jaw, and it would keep me from getting cramps and different things. And when I go outside and do a lot of work in the heat in the South, and y'all know down here, this heat ain't no joke, and this humidity ain't no joke, I'll mix me up a little bit of lemon juice with water, and I'll put some salt in it, and I'll get it real cold, and that's what I'll drink. And then, of course, I drink me some good old sweet tea behind it. So that's got a little bit of the sugar. Because I'm not one of those Southerners who oversweet their tea. I cannot stand that stuff. I want my tea to be just a little sweet where I can taste it, but not so sugary it makes me sick at my stomach. I don't like it overly sweet. There's a perfect balance, and that's what I want to find when I make my homemade sweet tea. And so it keeps me from having cramps and having leg pains and all these other things and whatnot. So that's something that I tend to do and tend to have when I do my outside work and stuff. Because if not, then you have that where you start cramping and doing all that stuff. But we're going to look at right quick. I'm going to we're going to look at some stuff on the internet. I'm going to present, share screen.
Extra strength added.
I gotta wait for this ad to be over with. I pretty much made myself a latte every day. I thought this was going to be about the thing. Okay, it says for many people, coffee is an essential part of every morning. Without our daily dose of caffeine, it can be a struggle to feel motivated throughout the day. Yet, for those who fight chronic inflammation, your morning cup of Joe may be quietly causing more harm than good. And if you're heard conflicting views on the matter, you may be wondering, does coffee cause inflammation or not? The evidence for the health benefits and dangers that coffee pose may make it difficult to find a clear answer for these questions. Studies have shown that drinking up to 3 cups of coffee each day could lower your risk of heart disease, but drinking more than 3 cups could put your kidneys at risk. Some researchers have shown that daily coffee drinkers can even live longer. So, what's the verdict? Below, find out if coffee is doing you more harm than good, according to nutrition and health experts. Plus, did you know that how you make your coffee can have its own impact on your health? Does coffee cause inflammation? It might seem a bit confusing, but the gist is coffee contains plant compounds that provide anti inflammatory properties. However, you can squash these benefits if you drink too much of the caffeinated varieties, or it's laden with sugar or sugary syrups, says Jackie Nugent, RDN CDN, plant forward culinary nutritionist and the author of the Plant Based Diabetics Cookbook. Other factors such as your genetic makeup may affect how beneficial or not so beneficial coffee may be. More specifically, coffee is rich in several antioxidants, including polyphenols. and hydrocinamatic acids, says Chrissy Alsonot, MBA, RDN, LD, registered dietitian. These antioxidants can fight against the harmful free radicals in your body, which can otherwise damage important cells and contribute to disease. This may result in reduced inflammation in the body, she explains. However, espresso coffee and unfiltered coffee, such as French press, contain dietterpenes, which can raise unhealthy fats in the body. Notes Arsenal. To avoid this mild inflammatory effect, make sure you opt for filtered coffee. While the overall scientific knowledge base is conflicting, several more recent studies hint that moderate consumption of coffee or tea is okay for most people. Preventative cardiologist at Miami Cardiac and Vascular Institute, as always, consult with your own medical care team before changing any major health habits, medications, or supplements for their personalized guidance, especially if you have cardiovascular disease or risk factors for heart disease. Does decaffeinated coffee have the same effect? If caffeine isn't your thing, you will likely still reap the anti inflammatory benefits with your decaf as regular coffee. While there are still some question marks, studies generally find an anti inflammatory effect of coffee, but not of caffeine itself. Decaffeinated coffee retains most of the beneficial compounds that are found in regular coffee, including powerful antioxidants, although in smaller quantities, says Arsenault. One study that found that coffee drinkers were 15% less likely to die from all causes than non coffee drinkers showed similar health benefits in decaf drinkers. Studies have found that those who drink any type of coffee, ground, instant, or decaf, tend to have a lower risk of cardiovascular death and death from any cause than their coffee free peers, says Dr. Ilamoid. A regular intake of 2 or 3 cups per day of any kind of coffee was linked with the largest risk reduction. This is a clue that there's something inherent in all coffee beans beyond the caffeine that helps deliver the heart health benefits. The healthiest way to drink coffee is plain with nothing added, also known as drinking it black. Ideally, you shouldn't put sugar in your coffee. Other additives are often rich in calories, carbohydrates, and fat. What if I take my coffee with milk and sugar? The healthiest way to drink coffee is plain with nothing, added Dr. Broner. But if you prefer not to drink your coffee black, it's likely will make a difference when it comes to reaping its anti-inflammatory benefits. Adding sugar to your coffee, whether regular or decaf, can contribute to inflammation if consumed regularly, and is linked to increased chronic inflammation and insulin resistance in the body. Opting for no sugar, a natural sweetener like stevia or monk fruit, or adding coconut oil for flavor can help mitigate the potential negative effects of adding sugar, she notes. Adding cream, or any fat to your coffee has often been demonized in the past, says Arsenault. However, recent research shows that cream and any full fat dairy products do not seem to increase inflammation in your body. In fact, one study found that coffee taken with milk may actually help fight inflammation. However, if you're concerned about the high calories in creamers, you could consider plant-based creamers, or simply add plant-based milk for a creamier texture, says Arsenal. How much coffee is safe to consume daily? A study found that drinking 2 to 3 daily cups of coffee is associated with significant reductions in new cardiovascular disease and mortality compared with avoiding coffee, says Nick West, Chief Medical Officer and Division Vice President of Global Medical Affairs at Abbott's Vascular Business. Moderate coffee intake, about 2 to 5 cups a day, is also linked to a lower likelihood of type 2 diabetes, liver and endometrial cancers, Parkinson's disease, and depression, says Dr. Ilamoid. It's even possible that people who drink coffee can reduce their risk of early death. But how much is too much? According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day, roughly about 4 cups of brewed coffee, is considered safe for most healthy adults. Compare this to the large size brewed coffee at the leading coffee shop, which contains 410 milligrams of caffeine. You'd be slightly over the limit and wouldn't be able to drink any further coffee, caffeinated tea, or energy drinks for the rest of the day, says Alsonaut. Be sure to check the caffeine content in your beverage if you plan on consuming several drinks daily, she adds. So it's not the coffee itself. Like if the coffee didn't have caffeine, you could drink as much as you want. Hey, Miss Tiffany. Good morning, Miss Ray. How y'all doing this morning? So I myself have to drink with some kind of something. I would love like to be able to drink the coffee black because I've heard it has more benefits. But I have to have something because um with my stomach condition, I found when I drink straight black coffee, for some reason it upsets my tummy. I don't know why. Also, it's just yeah. But it does come down to with coffee, it comes down to the caffeine intake and watching how much caffeine you intake over a day's time. Because caffeine itself, believe it or not, can be just as addicting as alcohol or drugs. And if you, let's say you completely cut caffeine out of your system, completely, like nothing with caffeine in it, right? All of a sudden, believe it or not, you will start getting headaches and different things like that because you cut it out. So if you, let's say you drink a lot of coffee in a day and you want to start cutting down on how much you drink or how much caffeine you intake, you have to slowly but surely do it. Like not all at once, not cold turkey. Like if let's say this is an example, you drink 5 cups of coffee, the big cups over a day's time. Well, the one day cut it down to 4 cups, and then the next day 3 cups, then to two, then to one, and slowly do it like for I would say 2 days, do your regular, 2 days, do four, so on and so forth until your body gets adjusted to it. Because believe it or not, like when we do things like that, our body adjusts to it and expects to get it, right? So our body expects to get that caffeine boost. Our body expects that to be ingested, so therefore it starts wanting it. It's just like sugar. If you become diabetic, you have to cut sugar cold turkey, right? But if you're not diabetic, you can slowly but surely wean yourself away from sugar altogether. Start off by cutting out like sodas and switch it to zero sugar. Um, Start using, because we'll still have like a sweet tooth. So what you can do is get the no sugar added. They have so many no sugar added desserts nowadays. No sugar added they even have Reese's peanut butter cups. Hey, racing stars. And so, yes, Gamecock Jenny. It's also good for your, for your kidneys. It's good for your body in general. Coffee it does have health benefits, but it's the caffeine consumption. When you take too much caffeine into your system, that's when it becomes, a problem. That's how it. But but coffee itself does have a lot of benefits, just like, with salt. You're supposed to have salt in your diet, but to what degree? Um, it's like some people have a problem with too much potassium or too much of one, you know, too much of one mineral and not the other. So, what I would suggest to everybody to do at least once a year, have a CBC run. It's a simple blood test, and it'll tell you what minerals you're good in and what minerals you're lacking in, right? A CBC with differential, like a full blood workup. And so it'll tell you if you're low on your potassium, it'll tell you if you're too high in one and too low in the other. And it'll help you generally see what you're missing in your diet, right? And you can have it done more than once a year. You can have it done every 3 months, every 6 months, and start looking at dietary changes. Like, let's say you add more bananas this time, but not next time. So this time your potassium's on point, but next time your potassium's too low. Or vice versa, you ate too many bananas, now your potassium's too high, and the next time your potassium's back to normal, right? So if you monitor that, it can also help you realize what dietary changes you need to make to help yourself get the minerals that you need. You do need salt, contrary to popular belief, but to what extent is also. It's everything within moderation, right? Everything within moderation. Um, that's just like, believe it or not, even though I don't drink alcohol, alcohol does have certain health benefits if done within moderation. Specifically, wine and beer. If you have a heart condition, they will tell you that it is a natural blood thinner, right? But it's within moderation. When you start over drinking, that's when it becomes a problem, right? Like having a glass of wine in the afternoon is actually good for your, unless you're an alcoholic and it affects your life. It is actually good for, it has health benefits. The fact that it is a natural, it naturally thins your blood and absolutely can help your kidneys. A lot of people don't know that. To an extreme, like this, like I said, everything within moderation. Hey, Miss Jean. So, like coffee within moderation, alcohol within moderation, a lot of things that, also have negative connotations sometimes actually do have health benefits, but it depends on how much you're intaking, how much you're outtaking, to know if you're absolutely going over the limit. Because I think it was my grandmother who, when um she has a heart condition, they told her to drink just two, no more than two, beers a night. That was it, just two, no more than two. But it helps with blood thinning. There's actually how let's look this up. How much alcohol because there is like it says right here, it says drinking more than the standard 2 drinks a day can seriously affect your physical and mental health over a lifetime. According to the U.S. dietary guidelines, people should limit their alcohol related risk by drinking in moderation, meaning that 1 serving of alcohol per day for women and up to 2 servings per day for men. Consuming more than 2 or 3 drinks per day ups your risk for cancer and heart problems. No amount of alcohol is safe, beneficial for you. Um, they have said that because there is risk and there is benefits for that, right? There's benefits and there's risk. Just like, a moderate or whatnot. It says examples of 1 drink include 12 fluid ounces of a regular beer, 5 fluid ounces of wine, and 1.5 fluid ounces of hard liquor or distilled spirits. That is, the moderate, and anything over that can be, bad for you. Um, But they used to absolutely tell you to drink a glass of wine for health benefits, or like 2 beers at max, but usually one, just to help with blood clotting. If you have a blood clotting disorder, that's what they used to do in the past. It's crazy, isn't it? Now, dissociative disorders, right? We were talking about this last week when we were talking about how people fake having did. And I don't know if y'all have seen this on TikTok, but it has become a thing, right? Dissociative disorders are mental health conditions that involve experiencing a loss of connection between thoughts, memories, feelings, and surroundings, behaviors, and identity. These conditions include escape from reality in ways that are not wanted and not healthy. This causes problems in managing everyday life. Dissociative disorders usually arise as a reaction to shock, distressing, or painful events, help push away difficult memories. Symptoms depend in part on the type of dissociative disorder and can range from memory loss to disconnected identities. Times of stress can worsen symptoms for a while, making them easier to see. Treatment for dissociative disorders may include talk therapy, also called psychotherapy, and medicine. Treating dissociative disorders can be difficult, but many people learn new ways of coping their lives to get better. The symptoms: a sense of being separated from yourself and your emotions, thinking that people and things around you are distorted and not real, a blurred sense of your own identity, severe stress or problems in relationships, work, or other important areas of life, not being able to cope well with emotional or work related stress, memory loss, also called amnesia, of certain time periods, events, people, and personal information, mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts and behaviors. The American Psychiatric Association defines three major dissociative disorders: depersonalization, derealization disorder, and dissociative amnesia, and dissociative identity disorder. Dissocialization derealization order involves a sense of separation from yourself or feelings that you're outside of yourself. You may feel as if you're seeing your actions, feelings, or thoughts self from a distance, like you're watching a movie. Derealization involves feeling like that other people and things are separate from you and seem foggy or dreamlike. Time may seem to slow down or speed up. The world may seem unreal. You may go through depersonalization, derealization, or both symptoms, which can be very distressing. May last for hours, days, weeks, or months. They may come and go over many years, or they may become ongoing. Dissociative amnesia. The main symptoms of dissociative amnesia is memory loss that's more severe than usual, forgetfulness. The memory loss can't be explained by a medical condition. You can't recall information about yourself or events and people in your life, especially from a time when you felt shock, distress, or pain. About a dissociative amnesia usually occurs suddenly. It may last minutes, hours, or rarely months or years. Dissociative amnesia can be specific to events in a certain time, such as intense combat. More rarely, it can involve complete loss of memory about yourself. It sometimes may involve travel of or confused wandering away from your life. This confused wandering is called dissociative fatigue, I think that's supposed to be, but it says fugue, FUGUE. Dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. This disorder involves switching to other identities. You may feel as if you have two or more people talking or living inside your head. You may feel like you are possessed by other identities. Each identity may have a unique name, personal history, and features. These identities sometimes include differences in voice, gender, mannerisms, even such physical qualities as the need for eyeglasses. There are also differences in how familiar each identity is with the others. Dissociative identity disorder usually also includes bouts of amnesia and often includes times of confused wondering. When to see a doctor. Sometimes dissociative disorder symptoms occur in a crisis with severe or impulsive behavior. People with these symptoms need care more urgently in an emergency department at a hospital when safety becomes a concern. If you or a loved one has urgent symptoms that may be dissociative disorder, contact your doctor or other healthcare professional for help. Suicidal thoughts and behavior. If you have thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, call 911 or your local emergency number right away or go to an emergency department. Causes. Dissociative disorder usually starts in a way to cope with shocking, distressing, or painful events. This disorder most often form in children who go through long-term physical, essay, or emotional abuse. Less often, this disorder forms in children who've lived in a home where they went through frightening times or they never knew what to expect. The stress of war or natural disasters also can bring on dissociative disorders. When you go through an event that's too much to handle emotionally, you may feel like you're stepping outside of yourself and seeing the event as if it's happening to another person. Mentally escaping in this way may help you get through a shocking, distressing, or painful time. Risk factors. You are at greater risk of having dissociative disorder if you have had a long-term physical, essay, or emotional abuse during childhood. Other shocking, distressing, or painful events also may cause dissociative disorder to arise. These may include war, natural disasters, kidnapping, torture, extensive early life medical procedures, or other events. The complications are depression and anxiety, post traumatic stress disorder, sleep disorders, including nightmares, insomnia, and sleepwalking. Physical symptoms such as lightheadedness or seizures that are not due to epilepsy. Eating disorders, problems with sexual function, problems with alcohol and drug use, personality disorders, major problems in personal relationships at school, at work, self injury or high risk behaviors, suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Prevention. Talk to a trusted person or a friend, your healthcare professional, or a leader in your faith community. Ask for help finding resources such as parents, support groups, and family therapists. Look for churches, other faith based groups, and community education programs that offer parenting classes that also may help you learn a healthier parenting style. Most, I will say, most people that have did, they usually get it from having, an extreme case of childhood trauma, an extreme case. And it basically, the person creates the other personalities to protect themselves. If we look at, like, I know most of us, um, what's the name of that Jim Carrey movie? His name's Hank in the movie. What's the name of that movie? He basically created the other personality to protect himself because he was a yes man, always saying yes to everybody, never standing up for himself. And eventually his mind fractures and his other side comes out to be able to say no for him, to be able to stand up for himself. What is the name of that movie? I know the movie, and for right now, I'm just trying to remember it. It was one of his older movies, obviously. Um, Let me try to remember. Da, 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 da. Me, Myself, and Irene. That's the name of the movie. Me, Myself, and Irene. I don't know why I was having trouble remembering that movie at that time. Me, Myself, and Irene. If y'all ever watched that movie, he's trying to help somebody, and his other side that he created to protect himself came out, right? His other side. Usually with dissociate, hey twin mama, good morning. Be careful out there driving. Much love, beautiful. Most people with dissociative disorder, they create that other side to protect themselves, and it's a form of protection, right? Um, but I have seen an uptick of people who quite literally are pretending to have did. And I know most people who actually do have a lot of these disorders like Tourette's and different things, they don't want it, you know? They really don't want to have to deal with that on a daily basis. It's not something that someone really wants to deal with on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that somebody really wants to deal with. A lot of disorders are like that. Even my ADHD, right? With my ADHD, sometimes I wish I didn't have it because it's annoying, and then other times I'm used to my ADHD. I've coped with it. I've learned how to deal with it. So it doesn't bother me as often. It's just like people with bipolar disorder, people with anxiety, depression, or extreme depression. Nobody wants to feel sad all the time. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants like with OCD and stuff, when people have an extreme case of OCD or germophobia, right? They don't want that necessarily. They want to be able to do like everybody else does. They want to feel normal. Most people will tell you that's the word that they want. They want to feel like everybody else. Anybody who has to deal with a chronic pain condition where they feel pain every day of their life, most people would love to trade that and not feel pain and be normal, right? And it's the same thing with mental health conditions. Most people do not want their mental health condition. They want to feel like a normal person, quote unquote, right? Um, and that's like, with my gangster sauce, we covered her condition. They did a lot of people just said a lot of false things about her condition. That's one of the reasons why on One Wellness Wednesday, I specifically went over her condition so that people could understand it because, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of people who spread misinformation. So I like to go in and break it down and tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God, right? It's like with cerebral palsy. My son has a mild form of CP. A lot of people don't understand that with CP, um, most, not all, most of the time it is a physical thing. Sometimes it can involve, mental disabilities, but most of the time it is a physical problem. It has to deal with weakness or over tightening of the hamstrings. To break it down into an easier to understand, what happens with someone with CP, they're either born extremely early or, they have an injury to their brain, right? And it is brain damage in a way, right? Um, and or the brain didn't develop on time, or they were born extremely early and it developed a little later. So it caused some disruption, right, in the brain. And for my son, what it causes for him, we used to call him my little twinkle toes. It causes muscle spasms, which then cause the ligaments in the legs to tighten up too much. So it literally, we had to stretch out the ligaments and do special therapy when he was little to try to keep his legs from doing that. Eventually, they did it on their own. You can try to hold it off as long as possible. Eventually, they do have to have surgeries, right? And the surgery, they go in and they cut the ligaments to where they need to be cut. And then when the ligaments grow back, they are lengthened. It's called cord lengthening surgery. Um, I'll teach you what cord lengthening surgery is. And this is something that they do with people with cerebral palsy. Now also, this is another thing. I don't know why women are getting Botox injected in their face. Did you know that they use Botox to treat cerebral palsy? Now, at first, the Botox does tighten the ligament, tighter than what it was. But then, after a period of time, Botox relaxes it. Just like in your face, that's the reason people keep having to get Botox after the first time. It tightens it at first and then it loosens the skin and actually makes you age faster. So, yes, it may look cute at first, but if you don't continuously have the Botox, see, that's why after you get the first injection, most of the time, most people continue to do it, just like when they have lip fillers and stuff, because it takes away the natural effects of your actual collagen and makes you age faster. Because eventually it relaxes the same muscles that it tightened at first. And of course, that's going to cause wrinkling, that's going to cause face droopage, under eye droopage, all those things. And that's why, in some ways, I'm wondering why the beauty community keeps pushing it. But it's this is what, lengthening, a heel cord lengthening or Achilles tendon lengthening surgery helps ease limited motion in a child's joints. Heel cord lengthening can help improve the position of your child's foot. This surgery is suggested when the healthcare provider believes that your child's foot or feet may become flatter. They do heel cord lengthening and they do for the back of the ankle and the knee. Some kids have to have it done on their arms. Um, and so it depends on what part of the body the cerebral palsy affects. For some people, it only affects the arms. For some people, it affects the legs. Some people, it's both. Sometimes it's just one side of the body, and so it does. So this back here, you have a a cord that goes all the way up, right? And it's the reason that you have flexation in your ankles, your knees, your arms, like in your elbow area, and it basically in your hands, in your wrists, that is responsible for the flexation, right? Responsible for you to be able to flex your feet, flex your ankles, flex your knees, flex your wrist, and your elbows. When that cord becomes too tight, you can't flex it anymore, right? And so it can make the hands draw up to the chest, right? It can make you know, the legs, like the ankle, to where it won't stretch and touch the floor flat. It can make it to where you have to walk on your tiptoes because you can't flex your ankle. You can't flex your kneecaps, right? So what they do is they go in and right around in this area, they cut that tendon. There's a tendon right there. And that helps to where you can then, after it grows back, be able to flex normally like other people, right? They will do different kinds of scans to make sure they're cutting in the correct place, check the placement of how it should be done, so it's not cut too much and it's done just right. What should I expect now? I will say they do splints cast uh on the ankle, and if you do it behind the kneecaps, they do what they call a leg stabilizer, which keeps your leg in normal position. The reason they do that is so as it heals in the correct way. You have to go through physical therapy. You have to learn to walk again, pretty much. So when that surgery happens, um, they do different things when it comes to that. So, like with cord lengthening, they do that. Like sometimes people don't understand that one treatment for one thing can also work for others. So you might have a treatment done to you that you're like, wait, this is for such and such, but it works for this too. They also have people who have dystonia and hypertonia. Hypertonia is too much, and dystonia is too little. My son, when he was in therapy, had a friend who his cord lengthening was too short, right? His was too loose. So they had to do exercises and things to tighten up his heel cords. His heel cords were too loose, which means he could roll his ankle real bad and all that other stuff. But how's everybody doing today? Has everybody got any plans for the next couple of days? You have anything that cool that you're going to be doing? Now tomorrow's stream will be a little. I may end up either doing it a little bit and then cutting it short because I have to go take somebody to the doctor. I always doctor's appointments are doctor's appointments. You got to do those things. Um and so I may end up having to cut tomorrow a little short or whatnot. But you know, then bill day is also coming up. Y'all know they don't play about them bills. Damn, they always gotta have their money, don't they? They got that hand out waiting on you. Woo! They don't play. But you know, so I was just letting y'all know what's going on with that and everything. Do y'all have any disorders that y'all would like to look over and can think about that you may not understand or may not know about? Because I like to educate, reach one, teach one. Also, I literally was looking in because I do this occasionally. I can't watch her. I cannot watch Eugenia Cooney because it breaks my heart to see what she looks like now. And I know one day we're all gonna get a social media post that says she's no longer with us, and it's very, very sad because the girl is very, very young. But eating disorders are also a huge thing that a lot of people deal with, you know. And then we have people who have dependent personality disorder, avoidant personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder. Like, there's some people who specifically avoid contact. We have different forms of PTSD. Um, then we have antisociality personality, schizo, PAL personality disorder, paranoid personality disorder. So some people are extremely um, paranoid about everything. Then you have avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. Um, then you have borderline personality disorder, which is BPD. We all know about bipolar disorder. And then you have people who have obsessive compulsive, schizophrenia, different panic disorders, social anxieties. I actually had, she's no longer with us. Oh, congratulations, Racing Stars. That's going to be awesome. Marriages are always awesome, aren't they? I'm so excited for you. Also, congratulations on getting a new daughter. Well, she's not new, obviously. They've been together for a minute, but you know what I mean. um, but with like people with eating disorders are actually very common. I had a great, she would be my second cousin who had an eating disorder, and she actually passed away with that eating disorder. She had it, and it really did affect her heart, her body. She had a complex eating disorder. The reason I say that is because there's different kinds, right? You have bulimia, you have anorexia, you have binge eating, pica, you have avoidance of food. She had to where she would mix anorexia nervosa with bulimia. Pretty much, she would sometimes binge eat and either purge and or take things to make her go poo, and quite literally had a problem with that. And she would then not eat at all and tell people she ate, and take diuretics and different things like that. And she just had she had a problem with that. She always wanted to be skinny, and being skinny naturally is okay, but don't hate on yourself because you got a little fluff on your body. If you want to lose weight, do it the natural way. Go outside, go do exercises, don't overstrict your diet also to where you're not getting the minerals and things that you need in your body. But do it the natural way because it's unhealthy to do it the other way. And also be very careful with dieting because you don't want to wind up with an eating disorder because you're afraid to gain 2 pounds, right? So, there's also overeating, right? There's one or the other. It's like I've said with everything, it's within moderation. Even food. Food can be just as addicting as drinking. Hey, Miss Rhonda, how you doing? How's everybody in the family doing? I've been praying for you. I pray for everybody. I pray for Miss Joy. I pray for everybody. You know I do. How's everybody doing over that way? But eating disorders are another huge thing. But I don't know if y'all are familiar with Eugenia Cooney's case, but her case, and I just checked on her the other day because I do ever so often, trying to see if she's okay. Is extremely, extremely sad and very disheartening to watch a young lady who's so beautiful, uh, basically unaliving herself right in front of you. It is very sad and disheartening. And the fact that there's people in her life there, which Yes, there's somebody did try to 51-50. It worked for a little while, but unless she wants to get help, there is no help. You know what I'm saying? But if I was the parent of that child, I'm sorry, they may hate me, but I would take over their medical care legally to where they had no choice but to get help. Because I would rather do that and you hate me and you live than me watch you do that to yourself and you pass away. I'd rather my child hate me and make sure they're healthy than to watch them pass away at something so young. I'm so excited. I'm excited for you, Racing Love. That's going to be so much fun too. Just to, and you get to be the mother, like, so you're like one of the mothers, and so it's awesome. But it's like, your child's life is really starting. You know that they're, fisting to build a life, and it's like you get to watch basically your hard work pay off. You get to watch them grow up. You get to watch them be able to come to the next steps in their lives. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting to watch the movement and, you know, be able to have grandkids and watch their stability and see how awesome they do in life. And it's just like you get to celebrate now, you know? You know what I'm saying? You get to celebrate all their accomplishments and things that they've done, and you're like, oh, look at my baby. You know what I'm saying? My baby did that there. Oh, my eyeball is itching. Miss Rhonda, you had me cutting up last night. You was making me laugh over there at Watchers. You was being hilarious. Oh, I love when y'all, but y'all, the chat always wins. I'm just saying, y'all always win. Oh, I was loving that last night. We had a lot of fun over there. It was fun. This weekend, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna, I always do Saturday with my husband, and I know we're gonna watch some TV and stuff and do stuff for stuff. But and this, like, I don't know what I'm gonna all do this weekend. I know that we planted our plants yesterday, and so they're in the ground. They're, we're gonna do some more eventually. Um, but I don't know what else I'm gonna do. I know that I'm probably gonna play some video games after I get off here for a little while. I've been playing and just chilling, you know. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Catfish. Good morning, beautiful. How are you doing this morning? We was just talking about different disorders this morning and stuff, Wellness Wednesdays. But now we just talking and bull cracking. We did our talk and all that stuff about health and wealth and taking care of yourself, because if you don't take care of you, who else is going to, right? So, how are you doing? What you gonna do this afternoon? You got any special plans? Anything awesome planned? I know that Racing starts time out that her baby. I'm so excited for that. That's awesome. That is super awesome, Miss Racing. My son is not old enough for that yet, and I hope for quite a few years he doesn't do that. Me, myself, and I don't really have nothing crazy planned right now. Just the normal chilling, touching grass, um, living life. I know that tomorrow, got to go to a doctor's appointment and whatnot, and chilling, and just normal everyday stuff. Cleaning, cooking, just living. I'm a little tired right now and don't even know why. I thought I woke up this morning like feeling okay, and then I'm like, I'm just tired for no reason. I'm gonna have I do have a doctor's appointment coming up next month for myself, and I am gonna ask my doctor about that. I've been a little more tired recently. I'm gonna have my counts done again just to make sure everything's good still. It could just be because I'm tired, right? But so I because of my conditions and the fact that my white blood cell was up a little bit last time, obviously I freak out over stuff like that. I mean, who wouldn't? If you've had to deal with if you've had to deal with having um, you know, your allergies are killing you. I'm gonna tell you something. The pollen count this year has been crazy. The pollen count this year has been more crazy. I swear. When I got home from my vacation that I took or whatnot, everything in the yard, everything around was yellow, y'all. That pollen was everywhere. And then you got to think about not just pollen, but you have ragweed allergies, you have dust allergies, you have, indoor, outdoor allergies. And I'm one of those people who suffer from both indoor and outdoor allergies, which sucks. Can I just get one and not have to deal with all of them? And I'm also partially allergic to bees and ants. So if an ant bites me, I like swell up real bad. And same thing with bees. Not I don't get anaphylactic, but yeah, yeah. The very next day, car was yellow as hell. Yellow, yellow mellow. Also, um, let me see if there's any updates on the Mendez brother case. They were talking about Oh, it says Mendez brothers demand Los Angeles DA recuse himself or be disqualified in resentencing case. Um, in LA DA Hochman. Brothers Eric and Lyle Mendez, long awaited resentencing. This is from CNN. Um, Stalled over state risk assessment report. A hearing that could give brothers Eric and Lyle Mendez their first chance of freedom in more than 3 decades hit a snag Thursday amid disagreements over Los Angeles courts' access to comprehensive risk assessments conducted by the parole board. The long awaited hearing for the Mendez brothers, jailed for life in 1989, murders of their parents in Beverly Hills, was continued until May 9th. The defense and prosecution sparred over whether the court could can I speak today, please? Um, should consider the risk assessment as it terms if the brothers are eligible for a lesser sentence and a path to parole. A report on each brother was recently conducted by a forensic psychologist as part of the parole board's clemency investigation, which was requested by Governor Gavin Newsom. Defense attorney Mark Gregoros who argued for the parole board assessment to be kept out of the hearing, vowed to file a recusal motion with the court and the attorney general to have the district attorney thrown off this case. He told the the court told. The family is very upset, but they are willing to put their lives on hold for a little bit longer. Prosecutor Habib Balin earlier Thursday called the report an essential piece of the puzzle needed to make a decision on the matter. Appearing frustrated, Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Michael Jessic called for a recess to get clarification from state officials. We must flush this out, the judge said. Jessic added, I want to see these reports. Thursday afternoon, both parties said the governor's office told them it was not asserting executive privilege and will make the risk assessment available to the defense, the prosecution, and the court. On May 9th, the court will consider the admissibility. Well, see, they've changed. They were supposed to do the sentencing thing on the 17th and 18th of April, and they have now pushed it out to May. So I don't know if this is going to be pushed out even more than that. Good morning, Miss Raditha. Catfish, I'll tell you something that I do. Sometimes when I have to like go into like dust is my biggest one for me. Like when I dust and stuff, I always wear like I try to wear something over my nose and mouth to try to help. And I know that when you're cutting your yard, that's kind of hard because you're hot and it's hard to breathe. But I possibly like a face mask that drapes over your face but doesn't fully cover it so you can breathe okay, but kind of helps like not have as much pushing through to your airway. That's the only thing I can think of. And possibly right afterward, doing like a steam to open up your nose airways from the stuffiness that you get from allergies, right? Like get a boiling hot water and put a little bit of menthol in it and let it boil real hard where it's like where you can breathe it in. Yeah, I hate when your allergies start affecting you and you can't taste well. Like when it gets to the point that your nose gets so stuffy that you can't taste good and like it affects because a lot of people don't know that if you're it isn't just your tongue that's responsible for taste. Your sense of smell also has a thing to do with that. So sometimes when your nose gets real stuffy, you can't taste food as well. A lot of people don't know that. And did you also know that sometimes your sense of smell can bring you back to like if you smell a certain food and it smells good to you, it can taste different because of your sense of smell. And smell can actually take you back to a time period in your life. Like if you smell a specific thing, it can take you back 20 years ago to a memory that you didn't realize. Like your sense of smell also deals with your memory. I will say for the eye situation, if you get conjunctivitis, which is like your eyes are real bad, um at the store you can get eye drops that help. Um it's antibiotic eye drops to keep you from getting an eye infection. I don't know if you know that, but you can get what they call antibiotic eye drops. And it might help if you are having an allergen also to you might have gotten some pollen within your eyes and it can make them itchy and scratchy and all that. I would keep some lubricating eye drops in my medicine cabinet, and you can drop a little bit of like one or two drops of the lubricating kind, and it'll help you produce real tears. Um, and it'll help flush out your eyes. Like, and also sometimes just washing with warm water and there's a specific soap you have to use on your face and your eyes. You don't want to get soap into your eye, but I'm talking about like the eyelid itself and stuff. It'll help keep the allergens away from your eyes as much. But there's a specific soap you're supposed to use on your face near your eye area. Um, hold on. I'll show you right quick. There's some stuff you can get for that. So that, Like they have this stuff right here that foams up, and that stuff it's just a lid scrub, and it's they have the allergy kind. It's like wipes and cleansers that you can use to where it's like not so rough on your eyes and stuff. It says use any mild soap such as Dove, Olive Olay, Neutrogena, or Cetaphil. Let the soap sit on the outside of your eyes for 20 to 30 seconds. Rinse it off. Use diluted baby shampoo or diluted soap to wash your eyelids and lashes. Use soap that is hypoallergenic or made for sensitive skin. Use tissue or gauze soaked in water with a mild, unfragrant soap to wash your eyes. Rinse your eyes thoroughly using sterile water. Ensure you rinse all the soap off. Yeah, because you don't want the soap in your eye, obviously. But you do want to make sure you clean your lids because sometimes the allergen will stay on your skin. And if you rub your hands to your eyes, that's another way to introduce allergens. So make sure you wash your hands thoroughly after coming from outside to inside. And also flush out your eyes occasionally. If you feel like there's a foreign substance, if they're itchy, they have eye wash like this right here. It's by Visualize where you can wash out your eyes themselves. They have specific things for that. So you can get it on Amazon and different places specifically. And then these stations right here, we used to have those when I worked in when I was in school and different things for like if you're a welder, they have those. If you work around chemicals of any kind, if you work in the medical field, anything where you could possibly get something in your eye. In the biology labs, obviously they had these to flush out your eye in case something tried to get in it, obviously, and a bunch of other things. But you can buy different kinds. And if your eye feels dry, sometimes a lot of people don't know their eyes are extremely dry and that's why they're itchy. They have lubricating eye drops over the counter that you can use. Um, and sometimes with certain people, it's because your eyes are absolutely dry and you're not producing enough tears. Your eyes are supposed to stay wet all the time, not crying, but you know. Well, you make sure that you be careful, twin mama, okay? And we love you. So wakes up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Okay, I scream at you if I have to. Okay, just kidding. Um, be careful, okay, while you're traveling. If you're gonna use soap, what I use on my face, now this is just me. I either use Dove or Ivory unscented soap. I use no scented on my face whatsoever, and I use Ivory soap. I've always used Ivory on my face because that's what my grandmother used to use. And yeah, you have to yeah, it's like tired eyes drops, catfish. A lot of people don't realize that they're not producing enough tears and your eyes aren't staying wet enough. So sometimes that can also cause problems with your eye. I'll show you right quick. Lubricating eye drops. These Terra Tears Refresh Plus. Refresh Plus, those green ones right there works really great. Some people don't realize that their eyes just get itchy and all this stuff. They don't realize that their eyes aren't staying lubricated enough, and your eyes are actually dry. And that's why for some people they think it's allergies, but it's called dry eye. And that's why it's good to go see an ophthalmologist and see an eye doctor, because they can absolutely test for that. Um, it's a thicker formula for moderate to severe dry eyes, often used overnight for longer lasting relief. Like if you're going to sleep and your eyes are absolutely like itchy, painful, any of those things at night, it could be because um, you don't have enough tears. Also, they have antihistamine drops for your eyes, and they may relieve dryness caused by allergies and irritation. Um, so let's look up the antihistamine. They do have antihistamine drops for itchy eyes if you have really bad allergies. That could possibly help. So maybe try that and see if it works if you're having real bad eye allergies. They also do have antibiotic. If you start noticing you have any leakage from your eyes that's not normal tears, any kind of drainage whatsoever, with that or any kind of heat in your eye, or like if you touch your eyelid and it feels too hot, you could have an infection in your eye. So that's when you use the antibiotic eye drops. You know, just saying there's different things you can do over the counter. If, let's say you may not have insurance. I'm not a medical professional. I cannot give you medical diagnoses or any of this stuff. This is just for educational purposes. If your eyes feel like they have scent in them, that could be dry eye, Miss Raditha, and it's a thing that happens as people age. Um, their eyes don't produce as much tears as they should. That is when you technically probably should do the lubricating eye drops, and do them at night. And then when you wake up in the morning, like if you do it every night for a such time, my mom had to do this for a while. The doctor prescribed her those, and it really helped a lot. It really helped a lot. Oh, you use Miss Catherine, you use turmeric soap on your face? Oh, cool. I might have to look that up. Hey, shit show love. I might have to look that up, this Miss Catherine. Turmeric soap. Yeah, we're gonna look up turmeric soap, y'all. Oh, look at that. Turmeric soap is a natural skincare product made from turmeric, which is known for anti inflammatory, antioxidant, and antimicrobial properties, which is really good because a lot of people don't know that we get, there's so many things that you can get from just being outside, um, having different things on your skin can cause many different skin conditions. Someone with, let's say, alopecia and or eczema or such thing, antimicrobial, and even like if you have you know acne or anything like that, antimicrobial is really good for that, and the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. It's really good because it helps with psoriasis, acne, eczema, so on and so forth. Because a lot of these things are caused by things that naturally grow on our skin. Um, Technically, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's psoriasis. That technically we have something that normally is on our skin, but for people with certain conditions like eczema, psoriasis, and different things, it overgrows. It's a overgrowth of bacterium on the skin, pretty much. We normally have it. It's just for some people, it overdoes it, right? And so that's why, antimicrobial is really good for those things. Also, if you're around animals, right? A lot of people don't know this. Some animals absolutely carry certain things on their skin, and you can actually transfer it to yourself. So that's why it's best to wash your hands after. You can buy the turmeric soap. It says on Amazon, eBay. I'm looking here. Amazon seems to be the Walmart.com. I'm pretty sure you could probably get it in any store. If you just look in the soap area and ask for turmeric soap, they might have it. One of the brands right here for Walmart, because that's where what a lot of people have in their area, right? Let's just say that. It is Lance Home is the name of the brand for that. They also have Sasquatch, which is a man's brand. I don't think I see that in turmeric though. That's different things. Um, But I would say look on your soap aisle. It doesn't look to be too expensive. $4.96 for a bar. Down here, $3.46. Um, they have one for $1.99 to $2.99 down here. I'm sitting here just looking, just scrolling. So it doesn't look like it's extremely too expensive. It can go up to $10. You can get a whole box of it for $34.99, like a big box. Like a huge box, it says. But yeah, turmeric soap. That's and then obviously Amazon's sitting here showing they have different ones on Amazon for different prices. So I think it's just a type. Organic has one right here at the Mitchell's brand for $7.93. Amazon has one over here for $11.99. So I think it's just looking around and finding the one that the brand that is good for you and what you can afford, right? You don't have to go for those $30 or $40 ones if you cannot afford one of them. They have one right here for $8.99 on Peachy Secret. So I would say just shop around and look to see what you can afford. Now the eye drops, you can get them at any. I would say check your local Walmart or CVS. Go get all fresh and so clean. Hey, Watcher Love, you not here? We don't see you. We don't know what your time is. Shit show, you can buy a lot of the eye drops that they'll tell you to take over the counter. Like a lot of the drops and different things they tell you to take for your eyes. Miss Catherine said that she bought hers from the hair supply store. So you might be able to get it from the hair supply store, Sally's Beauty, beauty stores in general, different things. And she show says she takes 2,250 milligram turmeric capsules daily. And Miss Raditha says she uses oatmeal soap. So, like, you can get a lot of these things, like, but antimicrobial soaps in general tend to work really good for the skin, anti-inflammatory. So, I would like to try that, Miss Catherine. That sounds really cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to look into that turmeric soap and see if we have some at my natural at my store. If I find some at Walmart, I'll let y'all know next time I go. I ain't going today because I'm going to be lazy today. I admit to it. I'm just going to do my normal stuff, my normal house things, that I got to do. Normal everyday shit, but. Because I might have to go out for the next 2 days. So today I ain't going out nowhere. I'll be like, nah. I'm a hiss at the sun. Nah. Yes, I have seen that, Miss Catherine. Actually, the turmeric with the apple cider, you can get it pre-mixed at Walmart. I don't know if y'all know that. It's actually really good, or you can mix it yourself. Always get the apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. It is really good. You can mix that, cinnamon, lemon juice. Lemon juice is always good because it's got it's basically got the vitamin C that you need. But yes, it is good for weight loss. There's a let me see. Let me show y'all apple cider vinegar weight loss. There it is. You can absolutely get the premix with the honey and all that other shit already at the store nowadays. Somebody realized people was doing that. So the company Bragg actually has a version that's already pre-mixed for you. I don't know if you know that, but they do. They have one with honey and cayenne. They have one with citrus and ginger. Um, they started doing Bragg started doing the the refresher probiotics, honey and green tea. They have one here, apple and cinnamon. So Bragg started doing BRAGG, Bragg, however you want to say it. Started doing you know, a mix for that themselves. Yeah, if y'all didn't know, they started selling. Uh, let me show y'all. I gotta. I'm trying to show y'all, and I ain't even got my screen share on. I'm smart, ain't I? Ooh wee. But yeah, so they started doing their own mixes, like where they have it mixed for you. For those who may not know and all that other stuff, they even have it in supplement form. For those who don't know, um, but they now have the mixes. Like, let me show this, and they have different ones too. You can get it at Target, Walmart, pretty much anywhere that sells, you know, apple cider vinegar. Pretty much, they have the different. Let's see, the different. Why is it doing that? I'm not trying to do that. Okay. So like this one right here, they have the Bragg original apple cider honey vinegar, um where they already put the apple and the cider and the honey in there. Um they have the different kinds. Uh and obviously you can add in what you want. You could just do it on your own. I'm just saying that they already have stuff done that way if you would like to be lazy and get it done that way. But apple cider vinegar does actually have a lot of benefits and is really good for you um, in itself. Hey, DBZ Nation, peace and blessings. Skinny Fit. Yeah, I've heard of Skinny Fit, people taking the powder, Miss Raditha. Uh, they do have it at some. Turmeric is really good for you in general. Turmeric, ginger root. When I was having my liver condition, I was using a ginger root extract. I was using Liver Aid. I was popping myself out with all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you. That's awesome, Twin Mama. The turmeric soap may actually help Twin Mama with that because the turmeric soap has the anti-inflammatory and it has the antimicrobial properties that could actually help with that. But if the soap you're using now is working, I'd say, hey, keep on with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd say. Let's look up the kind of soap Twin Mama just said, y'all. I'm gonna search the web. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all that right quick so y'all know. So anybody got eczema or have an eczema problem, because that shit could pop up at any time for anybody. Anybody could wind up with that. You know what I'm saying? But Pure Castile soap and honey almond. Pure Castile soap is a vegetable-based soap made from olive oil. It is free of chemicals, other synthetic ingredients, and animal products. Castile soap is highly effective and versatile and can be used to wash your skin, hair, clothes, and more. It is also hypoallergenic, making it ideal for options people with sensitivity to harsh soaps and cleansers. Um, I would add that with the turmeric. I would do the turmeric first and then the Castile, because the Castile is going to give you that oil back that you need. Because a lot of people with eczema and things like that, it's because their skin um is extremely dry on top of that, and they got to be careful not using something that can dry out the skin too much. Sometimes the skin is too moist. It's just different for different folks, right? Different strokes, different folks. Um, oh, and you could buy big bottles of that Twin Mama. Oh, shoot. You can get a pretty good size of that. I don't know if I trust that from eBay. Y'all know I don't trust eBay too much. I'd rather deal with Amazon. Uh, and then they have it at Kroger for $3.29 a bar, so that's not bad. And Kroger's got it. They got the Kurtz brand, $4.29. They got big bottles of it on Amazon. Hey, Mr. Buster. Irish Spring gets you all the chicks. Now, I've always loved Irish Spring. That's something that my daddy's used most of his life. And then when they came out with the Old Spice stuff, Old Spice just it's like, a remembrance smell. Now, myself, I like using Ivory, and I'll explain to you why. It's not harsh on my face. It don't dry me out. Um, and it's for hypoallergenic skin. Um, like I don't use the liquid. I use this set right here. Just the plain, clean, no scented, unscented Ivory. I've always used the unscented Ivory soap. I don't use the scented. I use the original, and I just get the little 4-pack. It's not expensive. Um, it's I've always used Ivory, and I don't know, like, it's just a thing. But I use the unscented Ivory on my face, um, and a rag. You got to use a rag every once in a while to get the dead skin off. I'm just saying, but don't scrub too hard, because then you're gonna cause yourself to have some rankling. It really does. And did you know this? If I'm not mistaken, it's Irish Spring, that has been known to keep away bugs. If I'm not mistaken, look, let me show y'all this. Something y'all don't know. Um, the Irish Spring soap, for some reason, they have been saying that it repels bugs. It's a natural deterrent for insects and mice. Did y'all know that shit? It's something about the scent of Irish Spring specifically. It says Irish Spring soap is often touted as an effective natural deterrent for insects and mice. This method is simple. Grate the soap bar next to your plants, and its distinctive scent will keep the critters away. But is this hack too good to be true? We asked pest control experts. Let's see what they say here. What is what is Irish Spring soap? As its name suggests, since the launch in 1970s, Irish Spring soap has primarily been used as a deodorant soap. However, due to its strong scent and the essential oils it contains, which are said to repel insects, it's found in another more unorthodox use. There have been other varieties of soap released in varying scents and forms, but the original deodorant bar is the only one said to have these potential repellent properties. Over time, people have started using the product in a number of creative ways. However, there's no scientific evidence that proves this bar soap can help with anything other than good clean. Um, the short answer is it's complicated. There are divided opinions on the effectiveness of Irish Spring soap when it comes to repelling insects and small animals. And while some people have and exceedingly had success with it, our experts all recommend using other methods instead. It says Irish Spring soap contains paraquat and oil of lemon eucalyptus, recommended by the EPA for various pest repellents. While it hasn't been significantly proven, Irish Spring soap could be effective DIY pest repellent hack. The most recommended and popular way of using the soap for insect repellent is grading the barn, scattering the shavings in any area where the bugs tend to swarm. The success of the soap as a repellent relies heavily on the number of conditions, though, Shannon says. Like any natural remedy, its effectiveness may vary based on factors such as the concentration of active ingredients, application method, and when speaking to mosquitoes specifically, the local mosquito population and individual variation in attraction to mosquitoes are also a factor. In short, it could in theory work, but it depends on the type of mosquito and how much you personally attract them, so don't bank on it. As for mice, experts say the soap will have little to no effect on them. If mice already have an established home base, soap will likely not bother them enough to leave. Additionally, mice can grow accustomed to it or simply avoid it. If spiders are an issue, then you may want to skip the Irish Spring soap, as strong scents are not exactly an obstacle for them. They are more efficient methods for how to get rid of spiders that will keep the eight-legged creatures out of your home for good. On a whole, there is possibility of getting some positive results from the Irish Spring soap. There is simply no guarantee. Blah blah blah. Right. So they say that it can be because of the essential oils that are in it. A lot of essential oils absolutely do that. That's actually a good thing. I will say that for me, ivory is one of the best. I use it on my special bits also, to make sure, like the insides of my legs are clean, but that way I don't have like a sensitive skin issue or something like that. Update: 3 turmeric equal 2,250 total milligrams total. Definitely don't take 7K milligrams. LOL. Uh, so Shisho just had an update for us. Definitely don't take 7K milligrams. Okay, not good for you. That's what Miss Shisho just said. But yeah, they have stated that Irish Spring will keep the bugs away and all that stuff. Also, there's a lot of essential oils. I've heard that if you spray peppermint, essential oil mixed with something else, forgot what it was, that you can keep away like spiders and shit. Like there's different essential oils you can mix together in a spray bottle and spray your home, and it'll keep away bugs and shit. Somebody we know might need that because they got little creepy crawlers. Um, it says citronella, obviously we know that one. Orange oil, lavender oil. Yeah, it's lavender and peppermint. You mix lavender and peppermint and lemongrass oil, and it'll pretty much keep away anything. Um, Rosemary oil, eucalyptus oil, catnip oil, geranium oil, and basil oil. What I'll do sometimes is I'll get some lavender and some peppermint and mix that together, and it keeps away the buggies. Also, you can add in lemongrass and rosemary too. But the lavender and the peppermint smell so good together anyway. You can also, you know, the classic we all know is citronella, but you can also mix, like, let's say you want, you can use the orange oil with the lemongrass, the cedar, rosemary, eucalyptus and lemon oil keeps away ticks. Catnip oil keeps away mosquitoes. Lemongrass oil, mosquito deterrent. Cedar oil is for flea deterrent. Peppermint oil, insect repellent. Orange oil, citrus repellent. Lavender oil, soothing repellent. Citronella classic bug repellent. Rosemary oil is a yard protector. Um, geranium oil is a wasp repellent, and basil oil keeps away mites. Um, so like, let's look at this. Let's look at this right quick. These are different essential oils that you can make and put in little spray bottles and spray. And it helps repel bugs and whatnot. The natural bug repellents. They had I wanted to see, it says to cut down on flies on your home. Spray a mix of 8 ounces of water and 10 drops of peppermint, 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of orange, 10 drops of patchouli oil around the window and doorways in your homes. Or you can also diffuse to keep flies away with the diffuser blend 2 peppermint, 2 lavender, 1 orange, and 1 patchouli in a diffuser, and it'll keep them away from your home. Keep pantry bugs away. Wipe down shelves with a mixture of white vinegar and a few drops of essential oils. Citronella, eucalyptus, tea tree, and peppermint oil all work great. Make yourself a bug repellent diffuser bracelet. Simply braid cotton fabric or leather and wrap around your wrist. Put a few drops of citronella, lemongrass, or lavender essential oils on the bracelet to keep bugs at bay. Keep pests out of your home. You can add about 20 drops of essential oils to a 4 ounces of water and spray around the spots where you've seen the bugs and entrances to your home, windows, doorways, any gaps in baseboard, garages, etc. Or instead, you can put a few drops of essential oils on a cotton balls and place those in similar spots where bugs are a problem. Fruit flies. The best way to get rid of fruit flies is to make a fruit fly trap. Put about an inch of apple cider vinegar and 10 drops of tea tree essential oil in a small bowl or mug. Cover the bowl or mug with saran wrap and use a toothpick to poke holes in the saran wrap. The fruit flies will be attracted to the vinegar and essential oil solution and then fly in through the small holes in the saran wrap, but won't be able to find their way out. How to keep bugs out of your garden. In a 32-ounce spray bottle, combine 1/4 cup liquid of Castile soap, which is what you use. Twin Mama. 1 teaspoon of sweet orange essential oil and 1 teaspoon of cedar wood essential, plus enough water to fill a 32-ounce spray bottle. To use, shake well and spray directly at bugs. Roaches. Try spraying or diffusing tea tree or eucalyptus around the room. While ants and spiders come in through windowsills and doorways, roaches don't usually enter a home via windows. Instead, roaches hitch rides on grocery bags, cardboard boxes, luggage, backpacks, etc. Additionally, fill an 8-ounce spray bottle with rubbing alcohol and 20 drops of peppermint essential oil. Shake well and spray this mixture around doorways, windowsills, under sinks, around baseboards in kitchens, etc. Do this often to keep the roaches away. For lice, mix a few drops of tea tree into your shampoo and conditioner. Wash your hair as normal. For box elder bugs, fill a spray bottle with 1 ounce of dish soap, 1 quart water, and add a drop of peppermint oil to mix and spray the perimeter of the house and anywhere they're getting in. Essential oils for bed bugs. In a spray bottle, combine 1 cup of vodka with 20 drops of lavender, 20 drops of eucalyptus, and 10 drops of tea tree. Shake well to mix, then spray on and around bed. Tip: if you're traveling, take a small bottle of this with you. When you get to the hotel, spray your bed and spray around your suitcases to try to get the little pests from hitching a ride home with you. So that might be something good to note if you're traveling a lot and you don't want to accidentally get bed bugs. Hey, honeybee. I get sad when I miss Twin Mama at night because I be asleep. Hey, Miss Linda. But this might be a good thing to keep with you if you're traveling a lot. It's 1 cup of vodka with 20 drops of lavender, 20 drops of eucalyptus, and 10 drops of tea tree oil. and you shake it well, and you can spray it around the bed. If you're traveling, you can spray it on your suitcases and on the bed at the hotel, so you don't get bed bugs that come home with you. And it'll protect you. It says cedarwood is good for mosquitoes, flies, silverfish, ants, fleas, mites, ticks, and lice. Cinnamon is good for wasps, earwigs, bed bugs, silverfish, and spiders. Peppermint is good for ants, aphids, bed bugs, box elder bugs, cockroaches, fleas, fruit flies, gnats, head lice, moths, spiders, stink bugs, and wasps. Citronella is good for fleas, mosquitoes, gnats, moths, and ticks. Lemon eucalyptus is most effective essential oil for natural mosquito repellents. Lavender, mosquitoes to head lice, fleas, gnats, ants, bed bugs, moths, spiders, ticks, fruit flies. Lemongrass is good for chiggers, fleas, flies, fruit flies, ticks, no-see-ums. What's no-see-ums? Mosquitoes. Sweet orange is good for ants, cockroaches, gnats, head lice, moths, silverfish. I've never heard of silverfish either. Spiders, ticks, weevils, fleas, flies. Tea tree is good for bed bugs, dust mite, head lice. Spearmint is good for ants, box elder bugs, flies, gnats, head lice, mosquitoes, moths, and spiders. I didn't see what a no-see-ism is. What the hell is that? No-see. What the hell? I've never heard of that before in my life. What the hell is that? Is this something new or just? Oh no! I don't like that. It kind of looks like a damn fly and a mosquito had a baby. It's a family of flies. It's a kind of fly. So I'd never heard of those before. Have y'all ever heard of those before? I thought like it's like if a mosquito and a fly had a baby. I swear to God, I've never heard of those before. Oh, and also Miss Linda said dumping peppermint oil down mole holes, or dump peppermint down mole holes, and it will get them out of your yard. Box. I don't even know what box elder bugs are either. I have to look that up. I think I don't know. I may know. You know how it is. Sometimes you don't know the real name of it, and y'all got y'all's own name for it. Oh yeah. I know what those things are. It just took me a minute. I had to look that up. Those are black with the orange things. Um, it's the stink bug. Okay. See, I call it a stink bug. I don't call it that other name. I don't even know what no-see-ums are though. I've never heard of a no-see-um before, unless they have a different name down here that I don't know. Biting midges is what they're referred to. I've never heard of those before. That was the first time I'd ever heard of them. And I got to look up that other bug that I didn't know what it was. What was it? There was another one, silverfish. I've never heard of silverfish before. Oh, that's the ones that kind of. Oh, okay. They kind of look like. Yeah, I'm never really. Yeah, I never. I know what they are now by looking at them, but I never knew what those were. Oh, I'm not even showing y'all. Here I am looking up stuff, not showing y'all. That's what a silverfish is. I'd never heard of those. They got the little leggies and they're squishy, and they got the long, like wispy tail things. I don't even know what they do. So yeah, but silverfish can be harmful to properties or something. They eat starchy materials and live in damp, dark places. And this is what no-see-ums is. Um, no-see-ums, because I didn't know what those were either. But it's almost like a fly and it's kind of like a fly version of something. But they're called no-see-ums. Um, they're like those flies that, have the shiny wings. And I didn't know that's what they were. I will tell you this. Now, this is something I've heard. If you have, every year in the South, we have problems with ants, like little pea ants or little ants trying to come in the house so they can get water if it's been dry outside for a while. I'm going to tell y'all something you can do. Get some chalk. Go to the area you see them coming in at and draw a chalk line. If you break their ability to follow the leader and then you spray the ones that are on the inside, they won't come back in your house. For some reason, ants will not cross a chalk line. I do not know why, the exact reasoning, because see, they follow each other's scent when they make a straight line. Something you don't know is that they drop off a scent line when they go, right? And so they follow a scent line. Um, and when you disrupt that line, they don't know where to go. You can use chalk, baby powder, honeybees right on that, anything to break that line, right? And they will not cross it and refuse to. Something that I got told in the past to keep snakes from going under your house is to put a line of sulfur around the bottom of your home. And literally, I've heard that snakes won't cross it, and that very, very few things will actually even get near it. Now, sulfur stinks something serious. It stinks. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I have heard that now we all know the old mothball trick too, but something about a sulfur line, they will not cross that shit. And technically it'll keep out the demons too, just saying. If you watch Supernatural. And that's totally a joke also. A sulfur line with a salt line, it'll keep them out too. Technically with the ants, you can do a salt line, you can do a and if you really want to kill like a nest of bugs or anything, salt, believe it or not, it dries out most bugs because they're water. Most of them have like water intake. It dries them out and stuff. Let me show you. There's some things that you can natural things to get rid of ants. I use myself a lot of natural remedies for a lot of things. Even on on my animals, I don't use pesticides on my animals. Most of the time I use natural things. They have a spray at Walmart, it's all essential oils. And I've used that on my animals instead of I like using essential oils. But it says right here you can use borax. Now borax is a poison. They also say diatomaceous earth. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That diatomaceous earth. It's a silicone dioxide, glass cleaner and liquid detergent, ground black or red pepper, peppermint, tea tree oil, lemon eucalyptus oil, oil of lemon eucalyptus. Clean your kitchen and store foodstuff in containers. Seal entrances with the chalk. That's what I was talking about. Seal the entrances with chalk. They will not cross a chalk barrier. Why? I don't know. Use berries and detergents like cinnamon. You can also do a cinnamon around. They will not pass it. Use baits like maple syrup sprinkled with boric acid. But if you ever did that, make sure no animals can get to it, because animals will also try to eat that because of the sweetness of the maple syrup. The boric acid is a pesticide and a poison and can hurt your animals. If you ever have inside buggies or anything like that, you can take peanut butter and mix it with boric acid and put it like into balls. Make sure you wear gloves when you do this. Obviously, you do not want to get the boric acid in your skin. Okay. You don't want to do that. You don't want to inhale it. So make sure you don't inhale any of the, if you're using the powder form and you start seeing a cloud of dust from it, do not inhale that. Please use respirator or whatever if you're fucking around with boric acid, please. Boric acid, you don't need to breathe in the powder either. Okay. But if you use it and you mix it in with the peanut butter, you can use 2 spoons if you don't want to touch it with your hand, and make like a little ball and put it to where animals can not get to it. They will try to eat it, and it can unalive your animals. It can cause them to be very sick. So if you're going to use boric acid, please be very safe and precautious with boric acid. Okay. It does work though. You can mix it with the peanut butter. Um, and you can put it a little bit of honey in it or something just to attract them more because of the sweetness. And you can put it underneath refrigerators, inside of cabinets where animals or children can't get to it, and it'll take out mice, it'll take out bugs, it'll take out anything that comes in contact with it that tries to eat it, pretty much. I just don't want none of y'all to accidentally poison your animals, your children, or your family, or yourself. So just please make sure that if you ever do mess around with boric acid, you handle it safely. Um, that it is something that works, but I have to make sure I say that. Miss Linda says I take cornmeal soda and sugar and mix it together, and then I put it down mice holes, and they pass away because they can't fart or burp. So they can't get rid of the gas, pretty much. You can use baking soda, and also I've heard that if you put salt in certain things, like certain buggies will dry up and stuff. It says if your dog will eat garlic, that keeps fleas and ticks off them. So if you can get and garlic's really good for you anyway, and technically you could probably make it into a paste and whatnot. They just might smell like it. Hold on just a minute, y'all. Oh, you want to see what an earwig is? I'll show you. Sorry about that, guys. You know, my son, I always mute up when he comes in because he is my life. But yeah, so earwigs for us, Watcher, I think when we was little, we used to call those the little pincher bugs. Those little fuckers that would just bite the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? We called them little pincher bugs that would stay out in the garden areas and stuff, and you would see them outside, like near the plants and things. You'd find them like when you were trying to get when you were trying to get your bait for your fishing. Sometimes you'd find them in the leaves and shit. So like when we'd go dig for worms and stuff, that's probably when you would see them. Mm-hmm. So that yeah, we called them little pincher bugs. You know what I'm saying? They pinch shit out of you. Because if you look at the front, they have that long little tail thing in the back, and they kind of look like an ant, but they got a long thorax with the little long tail thing, and then you have the pincher bugs that'll pinch the shit out of you. Yeah. I've never really seen them too much in a house per se. I've caught them more like outdoors near gardens and in the leaves, like when they're decaying and shit like that. There's all kind of creepy collies that you'll find when you're trying to dig for worms out in the yard. You want to see the myths about them? It says pincher bugs, earwigs, also known as pincher bugs, are insects with distinctive pinchers at the back of their abdomens. They are mostly nocturnal scavengers that feed on decaying organic matter, grass, plants, flowers, berries, and other insects. Earwigs range in size from 1/4 to 1 inch, have 6 legs, and their pinchers protrude from the back of their abdomen. Are earwigs dangerous to humans? The earwig is a type of insect. Its name derives from a folklore myth that the earwig crawls into the ears of sleeping people where it lays eggs. However, there is no proof to the claim, and the insect is mostly harmless to people. The earwig is a pincher bug that ranges in size. Bye bye, we said that. Despite its appearance, the earwig does not pose a threat to people. While it does not bite, the earwig can use its pinchers to pinch if it is picked up or disturbed. Rather than harm people, the earwig is more likely to harm plants. This article describes how earwigs interact with people. It also explains how to treat a scratch from their pincher and ways to keep them from invading your home. Earwigs don't live or crawl in ears. The earwig gets its name from an old European myth that says that the bug crawls into people's ears and tunnels into their brains while they sleep, causing fever and insanity. Other versions say that the earwig crawls into the human ears and lays eggs. The term earwig is derived from the Old English word ear, which means ear, and wicca, meaning insect. There is no scientific basis for the claims about the earwig seeking out human ears and causing insanity and other damage. However, emergency rooms often see patients who arrive with a bug in their ear, so the presence of any small bug in the ear canal is not unique to the earwig. There is no evidence the earwig seeks out human ears to cause harm. When an earwig is found in a person's ear, it's like if the earwig wanders there by chance. Where they come from. The European earwig, which is the most common variety, was brought to North America from Europe around 1907. The insect rapidly spreads across the United States. Earwigs live outdoors in large numbers. During the day, they can thrive in moist soil or other damp environments. These bugs are commonly found near the house foundation, in mulches, compost piles, trash, and wood piles. Earwigs are active at night. They are drawn to lights where they prey on small insects such as spiders and mites, both dead and alive. They also feed on algae, fungi, and moss. Earwigs and biting. What happens? With their sharp pinchers protruding from the back of their abdomen, earwigs can appear intimidating. However, earwigs are a greater threat to the garden plant they attack than they are to people. Earwigs use their pinchers to aid in reproduction, hunt prey, and defend themselves. If picked up and agitated, an earwig is likely to pinch humans. While the pinch can be painful, it does not transfer venom or disease. An earwig pinch typically does not break the skin. If the pinch does go deep, you may notice two reddish pinch marks. The pinchers can break the skin, resulting in small amounts of bleeding. If the earwig bite breaks your skin, treat the wound as you would care for a scratch. Since earwigs live in the soil, it is possible that germs can get into the cut from earwigs pinchers. To treat broken skin, use the following first aid treatments. Use direct pressure, stop any bleeding. Use soap and water to wash your wound. Try to rinse it under running water. Use a washcloth to scrub out any dirt. Apply a light layer of antibiotic ointment around your cut to kill the germs. Cover the cut with gauze and another type of bandage. While rare, looking for signs of infection, which can include redness, swelling, pain, or draining liquid. If a scab forms, do not pick at it. Let it fall off when ready. Basically, it says use a dehumidifier and clean up unfinished basement floors, seal points of entry, reduce areas of moisture near your home, remove places where earwigs are likely to hide, clear leaf piles, mulch piles, any other vegetation from your property. Design your landscape to create a clean and dry border around the foundation. Check for bugs on everything you bring inside, like firewood, laundry, furniture, flowers, vegetables, and houseplants. Use traps to reduce earwig populations around your house. These strategies include make traps from rolled up uh, congregated cardboard or newspaper, cardboard tubes or short lengths of hose, canvas, or pieces of burlap. Place the traps near damaged plants and mulched areas. Earwigs will hide in them or under the traps, and you can shake them into a pail of soapy water to drown them. Fill shallow containers with vegetable or soapy water. Bury the containers up to their rim in the garden where earwigs will drown in the liquid. Consider using insecticides if earwigs persist despite non-chemical steps. Basically, they like to stay in garden areas more than anything, right? So it's just most of the time when I've seen them ever in my life was usually uh around like a broken down log in the woods, or if I was digging up for worms for fishing, like earthworms and stuff. Found them in a lot of places like that. But that's, I mean, that's where I found most of those bugs that they showed or were talking about. I will say for gnats, there's a way you can get rid of them too. If you put just a little bit of sugar water in a jar and put saran wrap over it and put a tiny little holes, they'll go in there and they can't get out and they'll die. That's a really good trap for gnats and small little flying, fruit flies and different stuff like that. It works wonders. Gnats are really like, ugh. Now you can get those sticky traps and put up if you have like a fly problem, because sometimes down south we get that occasionally. Don't get it all the time, obviously, but sometimes we have problems with ants, bugs in general, because our population is great for that, right? And because we have so much, um, you know, foliage and things that the bugs can thrive. So yeah, we have that happens down here a lot. Um, I don't know how many they've probably swallowed in sleep. And that's ew. But we did learn, and maybe people should listen, that for natural things to get rid of them, we did learn that essential oils will keep them away. But if you have a infestation like that, my best suggestion is to call a specialist uh to come in, because once you start seeing them into that degree, they're inside the walls, they're everywhere. So you need to get you a professional to come in and get rid of them. Then you can do the essential oils to keep them away. But yeah. So, yeah, if you have a problem with an infestation, I do suggest calling like Terminex or something like that, because you're going to need a specialized treatment, and then you can do the other preventive steps after the fact. Oh my God, Miss Joy! I swear to God, Miss Joy be making me laugh, y'all. Miss Joy knows she funny. Y'all know y'all gotta laugh. Miss Joy make me laugh every time, I swear. Oh, could you imagine if you was going over there and you was getting a plate of food and didn't know, and then all of a sudden, like, you see that? I would freak out. I would freak out. I really would. But yeah, I would totally freak out over that. Well, I have had an amazing stream with y'all today. I just want to say that I love you all very, very much. And thank you all for supporting me and loving me no matter what. I want to thank you to my bushwashers, my people who are busy, but still want to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful for everything, and every single bit of support. I just want to say thank you. Um, oh Lord, think if you was blind and didn't know it. Think about if you was blind and you accidentally, ooh, no, thank you, no sir, no ma'am, mm. See, I'd get the heebie-jeebies. I'd get the heebie-jeebies. Can't be doing all that. Could you imagine if you was blind and couldn't see and bit into that? Just imagine that. Oh my God. Oh, Watcher has a merch store now. I got to get mine up and running, Watcher. I've been meaning to do that. Miss Watcher's got her merch store. Look at that. Look. I like it. That's cute, Watcher. Y'all, I'm gonna share Miss Watcher's channel. Y'all can go up there. There's a tab that says store, and y'all can look at her store. She's got some cute little stuff on her store, y'all. Ooh, that's cute, girl. I gotta do my I've been meaning to put up mine. I've been talking about it for a while. I need to do it. I need to get on it and actually do it. Um, I just been lazy. I admit it. Uh, the ones that I want, I have specifically. I have been working on it behind the scenes. I just haven't finished it yet. But I want y'all to all have, and there's more designs coming through. Miss Watch has said there's more designs coming through. So y'all make sure that y'all keep an eye on Watcher's store page, and if you want the merch, you may do so by purchasing it. I'm gonna send y'all much love today. I want to thank y'all. I'm gonna try to take a nap. I'm tired. I need a nap in my life right now. Hopefully my ADHD don't tell me no. Because my ADHD don't ever let me take a damn nap when I want one. It's some bullshit. The only time I get a nap is when I'm really, really tired or sick, and I have to be like extremely tired. I mean, 2 weeks worth of no sleep tired, or I have to be sick as a dog. That's the only time. But I want y'all to have a blessed day. Hey, Mr. Jim, the best Jim that ever was, the only Mr. Jim, the Jim Coddington. I want to send y'all much love. I want to thank everybody for every single thing. Thank you for just chilling with me. Thank you. I'm appreciative of every single thing. Y'all just don't know how much y'all mean to me. And I want y'all to always feel appreciated and feel loved. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you ever coming in here and feeling like you not. You know, I always want y'all to feel that, and from my heart. And I want to thank y'all for every single thing, from the largest to the smallest to the medium to the little, from the bush watchers to the replay gang. Everybody, I want y'all to always feel appreciated when you come over here, and I want to thank y'all for everything. Y'all have been nothing but kind and gracious and amazing. And I just want to say thank you. I just want you to know that, you know, without y'all, I'd be talking to these four walls to my damn self. So thank y'all all from the most beautiful part of my heart. And tomorrow, if I'm not able to do my stream as long tomorrow afternoon, I might do the game thing I was talking about, for us to do Jackbox games together and play. So I might do that tomorrow afternoon. Depending on how I feel when I get back from doing everything I got to do. I might do it Sunday. I'm not sure. So I'll try to keep y'all posted and keep y'all updated on plans and things. If I do decide to do it, I'll make sure I make a community post so y'all know. And I want to huggy all of you, very, very heart huggies. And everybody that needs prayer, realize I am still praying. I ain't stopping praying. I'm going to keep praying for you. And I'm going to send you much love and much appreciation. I love you, my angels. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
I'm from the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show. From the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go. From the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show. From the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, Captain C banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training round on 1800, making time stand still. Crystalline swinging down on 1800. Watching out for them rubberheads that be stanging round on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging round on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about round 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue apartments from OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, car blue, a big Anthony using P.
I'm from the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my